Okay, hello everybody. We are live today, and this is kind of a spur of the moment live. I had extra time this morning in the studio, and kind of just was able to put everything together. So hopefully we can just do a little tiny live stream here and hang out. So um, I got some flutes to show and some things to showcase for everybody today. So really looking forward to answering some questions and doing all that kind of stuff and blah 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 blah. You know, the usual stuff. So we'll have some flutes to showcase. Let me share this over in the Discord really quickly, and then I will also answer some questions about Shakuhachi stuff and all the goodness and stuff like that. Okay, so let me just post over here. Open for all questions, and let me see. I'll maybe think of a question later that I want to ask everybody. So today's feature of today, and also one of the things I would like to focus on is, excuse me for all the extra, a little bit of noise there, is just like some of the flutes that are on the website, because we haven't uploaded any new flutes recently, and the website is fairly full with material that we have, so there's not a reason to go and add a bunch more when we already have a bunch of stuff that's there. So I want to just go through some of those flutes that we have, like this one here, this 1.3, as well as a bunch of the 1.8s that we have. We are getting to well, my in-house producer, who's not here today, we're getting into his favorite season, which is Halloween. And so for your Halloween present, if you're thinking about getting a shakuhachi, you definitely should get a shakuhachi. But of course, also around the corner is Christmas, so great time to get yourself a new flute and purchase something for yourself. So I first want to talk about this 1.3, and here's the question that I want to pose to everybody, I suppose, which is, how do I do that? How do I ask a question? Poll. I want to make a poll. Is there a goal? No, I don't want that. Okay, so the question is this: which honkyoku pieces fit well on a short flute? All right, and so what I mean by short flute is we'll say anything 1.5 and shorter, right? 1.5 and shorter. So what pieces do you think fit really well on the short flutes? So now I'll give you my answer to start out with this. All right. Now, I think that the best pieces are typically any of the jishi pieces. So shishi, kumoi jishi, azuma and azuma jishi are a couple of pieces that I think fit really well. All right. So azuma jishi, kumoi jishi, and shishi. Good morning, Gabriel, and congratulations on your new flute, my friend. We are working on getting that sent out to you. It's such an amazing flute. So those are the pieces that I think of right away that work really, really well. And so we think something like I want to make sure it's not too loud. I have a feeling that it's going to be a little bit hot, so we'll lower that down just a little bit. Right, and so that kind of it gives it a little bit more of a folksy sound to it. And so that's what these short flutes do really, really well. And in some of the recordings, like even from Watazumi, on his albums, he uses the shorter flutes. So for example, here's another one for you. Bonus piece. Kansai Sagariha, also known as just Kudariba. This is another really great piece. On his album, he plays that particular tune on a 1.1. Okay. So the flute that I just played for you is this 1.3 that's on the website. check that out there. And it's like this is the one that I've put it on the website for sale, and I have a sell by date, and if it doesn't sell, I'm gonna buy it because this is a really really fantastic 1.3, and we've when I was talking with the in-house producer Linus, we've talked a lot about this particular flute, and just like it's really just such a joy to play. The only downside about the short flutes is that there is a limited repertoire to it. But if you really like those pieces and you really like performing them, or you like just playing them on your own, then I would definitely consider it. But if you aren't interested in those pieces, or you don't have a repertoire that's really that fits that kind of stuff, then of course probably the shorter flute won't be the option for you. Okay, so that covers that one. So as an intermittent thing here too, I would like to rediscover for the channel the Tairyū Jinashi model. So this is the Edo style model that is made by Nick Belando, and it is the carbon fiber resin flutes, which is just fantastic, and done with a matted lacquer on the outside, red lacquer on the inside. Really, really nice. I like his flutes a lot. He's a really great maker and a good friend of the studio. So, not just that we're only just showcasing flutes today, we're also taking questions about shakuhachi as we show off a lot of these flutes. So we're going to go down the line now, and I'm going to pull up this 1.4 that I have also in stock. Here's the 1.4. Another really beautiful piece of bamboo. The first flute is in the key of G. That 1.3 that we had. So I can see that also being used in some cases outside for other purposes. The 1.4, it's a harder one, right? It's about the same sort of thing, especially within the Honkyoku world. You're looking at the same type of pieces. This one has a really nice voice to it too. This one really, really is nice and warm, smooth. Has like a kind of very focused, centered tone to it. I think that sometimes too those lullabies can sound really nice. What do you all think? Do you think that the lullabies sound good on the short flutes? Kind of gives it a little bit more of a childlikeness to it, I think. Now, another one that could work really, really well, especially for people who play modern music like jazz, is the 1.5. The 1.5 is a great option for this, for anything like jazz. Get this out of the way, because it's the same as if you were playing an E flat sax. So, there we go. The E flat sax, of course, is up sounds a minor third above. So this would be that minor third above the 1.5. So something like this would also work really, really well with playing if you're really into playing jazz or any type of saxophone music, specifically E flat, right? So now this one has a big voice to it, and which means I have to probably turn down the mic slightly. So even though this is a cap size 7, you can kind of see that the bamboo is pretty thick compared to this this one here, right? There's a pretty there's a big difference in that with just the overall thickness. Now, of course, I don't even know if you can really see it on the camera, but this one is by far a lot heavier. There you go. Now you can really see it. You can see how much bigger and thicker the bamboo is on the 1.5. It's got a lot of bossiness to it. And I don't know if I have any like tunes that I could pull up right away. Let me do, because I think playing a little jazz standard might be kind of nice. Let's do this. Let's do E flats, tenor, saxophone, backing track. Pull something up really quickly, and hopefully I'll be able to read this no problem. But it's got a really nice reverberant sound. Here we go. I love this track. Misty's one of my favorite. 1, 2, 3. So, like, this fits nice. Right, so pitch is really, it's just fantastic. So if you're really into playing jazz and all that kind of stuff, you know, this might be a really good choice for you to have something like a 1.5, because you can use it on any of the E flat standards, right? So you buy yourself a real book that's an E flat, all of the music there is set up for this particular size flute. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the 1.8s, because this is also an area that, of course, we need to, if you're going to be getting a flute, you know, most likely, over anything else, you're probably going to be finding yourself getting a 1.8. So I'll move my flute out of the way, clean up some of these over here as well. It's a 1.7. Here's another 1.8. Oh, I love this one, by the way, so I'm looking forward to showing you that one. It's a really, really nice flute. I think this is also a 1.8 too. It sure is. We've got a lot of 1.8s to show today, so this is good stuff. Good stuff. Here's a 1.7 that's also on the website, E-flat flutes. E-flat flutes are also pretty tough because I used to use an E-flat for Koden Sugomori, and but it ended up being like that was the only piece that I used it for. Watazumi uses a 1.7 for Shingetsu. There are a bunch of pieces that you can use for that as well, like especially Sangkyoku. Sometimes people like the tighter sound of Sangkyoku, so that can work as well. So right before we jump into all of these 1.8s and do some of the stuff here, if you can like this video and share this video, ask your questions about shakuhachi and all that kind of stuff, and we will be more than happy to get you all set up with your instruments or the questions that you have. Let's see, track flute. When we'll do a couple more jazz tunes, because why not? Jazz tunes are fun to play as well. Okay, so is that 3592? Let's see, 3592. I believe that is the 1.5 that's on the website. Let me just double check. Let's look up here quickly. 1.5. Yeah, it is 3592. That's the flute. It's a great instrument. Really, really great. And the tuning on that row and the E, particularly, is really, really nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a quick look at the beginner flutes that we have here. So we have A, B, and C. So 0629 A, B, and C. So these are 3 of the beginner flutes that are up on the website. And what we're going to do is we'll pull up another one of those jazz standard tracks, because why not? You know, we can have a little bit of fun with this. And what I want to do with this one is we'll do, let's see, what's a good tune to play? But what we're going to do is I'm going to play A, B, and C in the same track so you can kind of hear how they sound differently, or how they sound different from each other. Oh, should we already pull out the Christmas music? Because that's what's happening. I mean, every year it gets like, you know, a day earlier. So we could pull out the Christmas music in a jazz style, but I don't think so. We'll do something a little bit different. How about... I don't want to do that one. That's a little bit... Could do this one. Okay, cool. Let me just double check. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. So what we'll do here is this is called, this is A Town with an Ocean View. Okay, so you might be like, what? That's not a jazz standard. What piece is that? So it's actually from Kiki's Delivery Service. And we're going to do it as a jazz backing. And then I'm going to play A first, then I'll drop the flute, move to B, and then C. So these are all up on the website, 0629. These are all the beginner flutes. Okay, so I'll try my best in this one. This is a little bit of sight reading, but I thought this would be fun. Going to B. Let's go to C. Why not? There you go. So give you a little bit of extra afterwards. But I mean, tell you, these flutes, like, even though they're beginner flutes, it's kind of doesn't quite make sense, honestly, because these flutes sound so fantastic, even though you know, they're only in the beginner range. So there you have it. Those are the 3 beginner flutes that are up on the website right now. And then what we have in store for you afterwards now is all of the pro flutes. And so these we'll go through kind of quickly. No need to kind of belabor them too much because once you play a few of them, all of them have video links so you can see the reviews of them. But one I want to really showcase is this one, 250905A. It's a lightweight flute, cap size 7, really beautiful bamboo, and I think that the color of it is extraordinary. It has such a really beautiful sound to it that I mean, it's hard to explain, but it becomes like the all-around flute that just sounds really colorful. Like it just has a really nice bass tone color. I think that's the only really thing I can say. Good volume, and it's just gorgeous bamboo to look at too. So we'll give it the normal backing, or the normal trial thing here, which is the Itsuki Komaru-yuta. You can hear like how much more like resonance is in the instrument, and so this is one of my favorites that I really enjoyed getting from Yozan. So there's that one. The other one that was recent from Yozan is also the same number, 250905. So this is also a cap size 7, but a much heavier bamboo. So listen to how this character of this flute is different too. A little bit more power behind it, right? It has a little bit more grab, a little bit more oomph to it, but I don't think it's as colorful as the other one, which is not necessarily a terrible thing. You know, sometimes you don't want the flute to have too much of its own character, because then you might struggle to create your own character inside of it. All right, let's look at this other one. Oh, hey, look what I just pulled out here. This is 3434G, which is no longer available anymore. So we can kind of give Gabriel here a little bit of a highlight of his own flute here. Really wonderful sound. So, Gabe, since I have your flute here, is there anything you'd like me to play on it for you? Because I can play something for you if you'd like. Yeah, so it's a great flute. And really beautiful too. Wonderful bottom end here. Slight curvature at the bottom too. Aesthetically really nice. Anything you think would really make it sing? Something really make it sing? You want a jazz tune? We know a jazz tune. Let's see. Maybe this one might be good. I'm not sure. I can kind of try this one. Yeah, Gabe's a big jazz guy, jazzercise. I think this one would work. I haven't played this in a long time. So yeah, it's a great flute. Really, really smooth and butter. So I think actually all of me actually works quite well on this particular flute. Very smooth and kind of silky. So congratulations once again on this wonderful flute. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send this out right away. Kabutomushi Uta is also a really cool piece, but I think it's more suited for a bigger size. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I've played it on a 1.8. Of course, it's my own piece, but I agree. I think like a 2.3, 2.4 really is the best for that particular tune, right? I think that one fits the best. This is your sister flute, by the way, 3437J, Gabe. This is one came just right along with the other one. So another really great flute. All the flutes up there, I mean, I handpick all of them, right? So when Yozan sends me stuff, I upload what I like, and then what I don't like, I send it right back to him, and say he might tune them up a little bit more or make some changes, take some more G out, add some G, re-lacquer, do some stuff like that, send it back to me again, and then it goes up on the website, but not until it has the qualities that I'm looking for in whatever level it is. So, but there you go. That's what we have for today for flute. So definitely, if you haven't watched if you are coming in later, you can kind of go back and watch the beginning once again at a later time to check out what's up on the flute scene and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put this one away, put these two down as well, and we'll kind of move into the next little segment here for today, which is basically just questions that you have on the shakuhachi while I am free to do so. Gotta take the young girls out to the play area today. My two daughters are rambunctious and they are really ready to go out and have some fun we have these roller slides in Japan, and they're like these little metal rollers, and so you can go pretty fast on those slides. And actually you go so fast that actually you can get like a burn if you don't like so if you're big like me, your butt's going to be burning, and also a very weird sensation of like falling asleep. So like when your like arm falls asleep or something like that. After you go down one of the roller slides, it ends up being like that too. So, all right. So let's go ahead and jump right in here. So there's actually been some interesting stuff on the Discord as well, just kind of technique wise. So I want to mention one thing about the third octave F natural. So, of course, in the lower register, we have that F natural. In the second register, we have that F natural. But if we try to play the next one after that, right, we get that F sharp. We get F sharp instead of an F. So how do we get the F then? Well, the trick is that we really don't have an F. You can kind of do that, where you like shade that hole and almost play Tsumeri and kind of pull down, but it's not really an F, right? So if we check here as well, we can got the handy dandy piano next to us here that will tell us the pitch here. So there's that F natural, all right? I mean, that's pretty close. But I wouldn't count on that. You know? I wouldn't count on that in a live performance trying to nail that. There is another way of doing it. You can play the E and play that way. But that one, on this particular flute, that one's a little bit flat. On some of the other flutes, like let's say if I take out Gabe's flute here again, kind of get there. But again, is that really reliable? Probably not. I wouldn't risk it as a live performance thing. But the thing is with the 5-hole flute, I usually tell people, and I usually tell composers as well, is that we don't have it. Is there a way to get it? yeah, but you're gonna want it for a very specific tone color. So if you're looking for something very airy, very shrill on that F sharp or the F natural, great. It fits perfectly. Then yes, we have it. But if you want something that's, smooth, playing it in like a phrase, like a, and then you're gonna go up to that high F, probably not. Probably not gonna work. And I think you'll run the risk of just having a really out of tune note. And so I wouldn't mess with it there. Okay, let's see what else we got in the Discord too. A couple else other things here too. Oh, Kevin showed up for a little bit. Greetings from Vancouver. Both sound really good. Something about that 3434G sounded so good. I think, the thing with the 3434G is that it's like the silkiness of it, right? It really connects from one note to the next very, very nicely. Everybody like the Ghost of Yote stuff? Ghost of Yote music. It's really good. Very nice. I need more Shakuhachi. More Shakuhachi in there. I know it's a shamisen game, but the Shakuhachi stuff is all the way. Alright, let's see here. Depends on what you've been pursuing. Western transflute flutes. What size is the resin flute that you made? So it is, I believe it's a size cap. Like, are you talking cap size? Probably about a 5 or a 6. What I'd say. Hey, Doug, long time no see. Yeah, I'd probably say that it's a cap size 5 or 6, somewhere in between there. But everything else is pretty standard, like the embouchure hole. The butt end is a little bit smaller than normal. In terms of like what we're used to, like modern flutes. But yeah, it's about that. Hope you're doing well, Doug. I think it's, God, how many months has it been? Like 3 or 4 months? Yeah. Alright, so that's the October thing. Otome Gokoro, piece that's not really played very often in the Fukuda Rando sets. I always like this comment. One of my many struggles is wanting to play everything. I understand that. On the website, the Tidy Resin Flute is 1,100. Is it a 2.1 or a 2.3? No, it's a 1.8. So they're all 1.8s, but it's in a Jinashi style, Edo style. So it has the nodes of the bamboo still in there. Now, of course, it's 3D printed, but it has the nodes in there. So the way that it is played is a little bit different. So you get like this. More of a rounder, warmer, bubbly sound. Very, very warm sounding. Let me just check here. Oh, it's a cap size 6. My cap 6 fits perfectly on it. So there you go. Cap size 6. We are experimenting with a longer model, making like a 2-3. The problem is that it's not just make the flute longer and therefore it works. So it's a challenge. It's actually very, very difficult to make a 2.3 resin flute. But hopefully, in a short amount of time, we'll get there. Very warm sound. I mean, that's the sort of thing. That's the color or the aesthetic of the Edo sound. Is that it's going to be a lot warmer, and you remove a lot of the overtones and brassiness. You're just sitting around the fundamental note. Typically, too, like those like Edo tuned flutes are also slightly flatter as well. So it's not going to be like. I mean, you can play a perfect D pitch on this, and like it's flexible. But where it really wants to be played, right there. Right, so it's slightly flatter. Just a little bit lower. they're flexible. Yeah, I can go pretty high up too. So there it is. I also think too, the other thing that's really nice is the flexibility of them too. Flexibility of it. It's very nice. So, all right. Very cool. All right, so JJ says very charming sound on that flute. Yeah, it's very, very charming. I like it a lot too. Sorry, plays way better than the U. Might become the main. It'd be great if it become the mainstream, but it's a lot more expensive than the U. That's the other thing. It is a lot more expensive. It is more expensive than that. But what you're getting is the sound color of it too, though. Let's see. We haven't released it yet, but we do have a Giotti version too coming up. So that's something to also look forward to. That's also something really to look forward to. Anyways, so I think that should do it for today. My main thing was just showcasing all of these awesome flutes and, checking in. We talked about that there's not going to be the same sort of live streams as before. But I'm going to try to do at least once a month. If I'm able to, mark it up in the future and I know when it's going to happen, I'll definitely do that. I'll post that up and then you can just stay onto the YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, like the video, share the video, all that kind of good stuff. And thanks for always supporting the channel. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time for another live stream. And of course, we have a bunch of other new videos, performances coming up. So very much looking forward to those as well. Okay, take care, my friends.